You. Yes, you. Imagine you're playing the Isle and you decide to hop on Megalania. You spawn in, walk around, attempting to find some food, and then suddenly, you run into a Ceratosaurus, and you ultimately decide to run up into a tree. And then suddenly, you run into a Pteranodon, so you jump out of the tree and into the water. But then, once you get in the water, a Deinosuchus shows up, so you have to run onto land. Congratulations, you have just discovered your role as a Generalist. Megalania has the potential to be one of the most unique playables in the history of the Isle, as it's a giant Komodo dragon, and it being a giant lizard, it could open up tons of interactions between tons of different creatures that all fill extremely different roles in the environment, such as the burrowing Protoceratops, the climbing Herrerasaurus, and the semi-aquatic such as Baryonyx. By the way, holy fucking peak. But before I start the video, I have an announcement. I have started working on an Isle nature documentary and I would like help with recording. Please consider joining the Discord in the pinned comment below. But without that being said, let's dive into Megalania and how it could become the perfect Generalist. Megalania is obviously a monitor lizard, and most of my inspiration from Megalania has come from modern monitor lizards such as the Komodo dragon. So obviously Megalania will be able to climb as in its concept art, and it will be one of the few creatures where the juvenile isn't just a worse version of the adult, and fills a different role in the environment. While the climbing juvenile Megalania is interesting, I do hope that it is quite different from Herrerasaurus, as in my personal opinion, it should not be hunting in the trees. It should just be resting in them and avoiding predators in the trees. And it could have some extremely interesting interactions with the other creatures such as Hypsilophodon, Herrerasaurus, and Pteranodon in the trees. But once Megalania gets to a certain size, it should lose the ability to climb trees because it's a giant 700 kilogram lizard. But it should probably lose the ability to climb around 250 to 400 kilograms, as I think that's a little too large to be in the trees. Once Megalania becomes too large for the trees, it should be the defining Generalist on the roster, and one of its defining traits should be its burrowing abilities, as Megalania should be one of the main burrow raiders, using its short and stocky build to go into the burrows and find the inhabitants, such as this piece in the concept art. And Megalania should be able to dig its own burrows to hide from larger predators and competition in the area, and to just relax in a secluded place on the island. And with Megalania being able to burrow, it should be able to nest in said burrows. And speaking of nesting, Megalania, being a monitor lizard, should not care for its young. And basically, it should make its nest underground, lay its eggs, and then leave, as modern monitor lizards such as the Komodo dragon don't take care of their young in any capacity and will consume their offspring if given any opportunity to. Now that we have moved on to the diet of the Megalania, it should eat most things, and it should definitely be a cannibal. Modern monitor lizards literally eat everything. There is footage on the internet of Komodo dragons eating everything from sharks to eels to squids to monkeys to dolphins to water buffalo. Which I'm not going to show any of that footage because I don't want my channel to become nuked off of the face of the planet. But the point is, Megalania should eat anything that could fit in its mouth, including rotting corpses, as monitor lizards eat literally everything. So I could see Megalania having ease eating rotting corpses and bones. And like Cerato, it should be a vacuum cleaner that should not be able to throw up and have the ability to eat everything. Megalania should also have some aquatic capabilities, as most modern monitor lizards are extremely adept swimmers. For example, Komodo dragons can swim for long periods of time between islands with ease. So Megalania should have a decent swimming speed, stamina, and the ability to dive. But it should be a slower swimmer than other semi-aquatic creatures, such as Bipalosaurus, Deinosuchus, or Baryonyx. The water should be an escape route for Megalania and a place for it to be food, and it should not be restricted to just the water. And for the final section of this video, we have Megalania's Venom. Contrary to some sources on the internet, the Komodo dragon actually has a venomous bite, and the purpose of this venom is to stop blood clotting from occurring. Although I like that idea for Megalania, I do have some concerns on how that would be balanced without being oppressive. My idea is to make Megalania's venom take time to kick in. If a fight ends quickly, the venom should not come into effect, but the longer the fight goes on, the more the venom should take a role in the fight, slowing the bleed heal rate of everything it is fighting. But in conclusion, Megalania should be one of the defining generalists on the Isle roster, being able to do many different things such as climbing, burrowing, and swimming, while not being the best at any of these activities. And with all of that and its venom, it should have the perfect fit to thrive in Gateway and fit any role in the environment it needs to. But if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And if you're interested in helping with the Isle documentary, consider joining the Discord link in the pinned comment. But bye-bye y'all. Have a nice day.